Green flag is in the air. We are underway. Heat race number 1 for the Santan Ford Desert Sprint Car Series. And it will be the 9X of Randy Nelson taking over the race lead from Joe Shepner as Ronald Webster moves in that third spot, followed by Josh Shipley in fourth. Josh Shipley going to be one to keep an eye on that number 2, the Prez, as Nelson washes up the racetrack just a smidge. Here comes Joe Shepner now down his inside. 3-car battle for the race lead, and it's Randy Nelson hanging on to it. Off of turn at number 2. A lot better drive off that time off of turn number 2 than he had down the front straightaway that last lap, but he has so far led the first 2 circuits in this 8-lap heat race, followed by Shepner as Josh Shipley now looks to the inside of Ronald Webster. That's Bell for third on the racetrack. Shipley down underneath. He's going to pull right across the snoot of the 51 of Ronald Webster. Webster, though, going to try to cross him back up now as they race down the back straightaway. Drag racing turn number 3. It's Shipley going to hang on to it on the top side. Shipley now will drive away with ease from the 51 of Ronald Webster. Rounding out the field is Jesse Stone Cipher in the 76 and the 7X of Ryan Murphy as they go side by side right now for the 5th spot. Give it to Murphy. Out front, no change. It's still Randy Nelson here as the cross flags are out. We are 4 laps down, 4 laps to go here in heat race number 1 for the ASCS Santan Ford Desert Sprint Car Series. With Shepner putting 4 in the fluff going into turn number 1. Lost a lot of momentum to number 9X of Randy Nelson as they come off of turn number 4. Now Nelson having an issue off of turn number 4. Here comes Shepner right back. So Nelson and Shepner, both those drivers had some mistakes that last lap and tightened the race for the lead back up. Right now, Nelson by about 3 car lengths over Shepner, who got a little airborne there at the apex of turns 3 and 4, but he is right there now, 1 car length behind the number 9 of Randy Nelson. Both those drivers going to go catfishing around the bottom side of the racetrack through turns 1 and 2. Down the back straightaway. Nelson going to lead him into turn number 3. Shepner is close behind. Both drivers using that low line as the white flag will fly for Randy Nelson and the 9X. Now it's going to be Shepner going to go top side of the racetrack. Try to get a good run as Nelson had a little bit of an issue getting off the corner in turn number 2. It's a drag race into 3 for the race lead. Nelson and Shepner off of turn number 4. Outside line will prevail. Randy Nelson wins heat race number 1 over Joe Shepner, Josh Shipley, Ronald Webster, and Ryan Murphy rounds out your top 5. And green flags in the air. Tyler Most will lead the field into turn number 1. He goes way up the racetrack, though. Has to wrestle that thing back as Bruce St. James, he goes to the race lead. So Bruce St. James takes the race lead over Aaron Jones. Then it's going to be Tyler Most in that 3rd spot now. That car pushes up a little bit. Actually makes contact, I believe, contact with Eugene Thomas. Thomas looked like he was hooked up to the old tail tank of the 3T of Tyler Most, who's all over the racetrack. That's going to allow Bruce St. James. He's driving away now from Aaron Jones, who's in that 2nd spot. Tyler Most somehow still hanging on the 3rd with Pete Yurkovich 4th and Eugene Thomas in 5th as Yurkovich and Thomas make some contact. Oh, Dr. Pandemonium out here in heat race number 2. But it's all Bruce St. James out front. Somehow everybody, all 5 starters have been able to continue on in this heat race as St. James will lead the field off of turn number 4, followed by Aaron Jones, who has Tyler Most actually reeling in that 22. So Tyler Most in the 3T, Yurkovich in the 3, and Eugene Thomas in the 10. Looks like things now starting to settle down a little bit from the opening laps as Bruce St. James will lead the field off of turn number 4. He is your race leader. He has about a 15 car length advantage over Aaron Jones, but that battle is heating up for 2nd. Tyler Most now just 3 car lengths behind the 22 of Jones as they work their way off of turn number 2. Back behind them, Eugene Thomas all over the tail tank of Yurkovich. One little wheel hop off of turn number 2. We'll see if Thomas can mount the charge and get past Yurkovich for that 4th spot as Yurkovich having some issues trying to keep that car on the ground at corner exit in both turns 2 and turn 4. Tyler Most just got loose in front of them. Going to lose a little bit of momentum to the 22 of Aaron Jones. Is all out front. It's Bruce St. James with 2 laps to go. You remember Bruce St. James last year, one of those drivers here in the ASCS Santan Ford Desert Sprint Car Series, kept getting faster and faster as the year went on. Finally was able to put it in victory lane and had one of the best races and rivals with Kyle Shipley last year. Those drivers were going all out for the race win on the final lap and made contact in turn number 4. which put them both up and over and out of the race. But he will win this first heat race, or the second heat race of the night in the 7K, as Tyler Most gave a charge at Aaron Jones. Couldn't quite make it stick off of turn number 4. Will be Jones, Most, Yurkovich, and Eugene Thomas. A little squirrely off of 4, coming home in 5th. Mike Waddell, John Shelton, Josh Pelkey, Brian Ledbetter, Philip Daney. Your field of 5. Getting ready to go another 8 laps here. Arizona Speedway heat race action for the Santan Ford, Arizona ASCS Sprint Car Series. Josh Pelkey back in the number 12 machine for Robbie Allen, trying to have some fun here tonight. It'd be a lot of fun if you saw him win tonight's races. Right now, he's looking to take over that top spot here in heat race number 3. But it will be Johnny Shelton leading lap number 1, followed by Pelkey. Then it's Waddell in the 7. The H of Brian Ledbetter. Ledbetter tried to give it a run down the bottom side of turn number 1 and couldn't quite make it stick, though. Those two, they race on for that 3rd spot down the back straightaway. Ledbetter once again going to drive it hard down in turn number 3, throw the slide job off of 4. New 3rd place driver, that's Brian Ledbetter, is out front. Johnny Shelton, he is showing the way over Josh Pelkey. Those two drivers, they have broken out to a full straightaway advantage right now over 3rd place running Brian Ledbetter. So it's Shelton and Pelkey, top 2. Pelkey pulled up to about a car length off his tail tank. Going to give it another strong run down at turn number 3, using that low line. See if he's going to have a chance to throw a slide job on him. Couldn't quite do it, though. Stick off at turn number 4. Halfway through this 3rd and final heat race of the night for the ASCS Santan Ford Desert Sprint Car Series. Shelton, still your race leader. He's going to use that top line. Josh Pelkey using that middle line. Now he's going to drop the nose all the way down the inside, try to go for it. Couldn't quite pull it off, but man, Johnny Shelton knows he's there. And now Pelkey will take the race lead as Shelton, he heard that Josh Pelkey was there, ramped the racetrack just a bit, almost made contact with the retaining wall off of turn number 4, and that's going to allow Josh Pelkey to take over the race lead. Now Pelkey getting ready to pull up to the backside of the 88 of Philip Daney, see if he gets out of the way for the number 12 machine of Pelkey, as he is driven away now from the 9 of Johnny Shelton. Shelton still in that 2nd spot with Ledbetter in 3rd. 4th is Mike Waddell. Philip Daney going to go 1 lap down as Pelkey puts him 1 lap down, drives to returner 4, collects the white flag. 1 lap to go. Josh Pelkey filling in this weekend for Stevie Sussex, who's up in Indiana, running a 410 National USAC National Series show. And Josh Pelkey doing a pretty good job of being the fill-in driver. Going to get the checker flag here in heat race number 1 over Johnny Shelton, Brian Ledbetter, and Mike Waddell.